Self-Directed Academy is really the mission. I would love to say, well, our mission is really simple, but when you read our mission statement, it's actually really complicated because we're trying to create a place where students build trusting relationships with adults. And when you talk about moving into those teenage years, that's when it gets so challenging because trust is not something that you generally associate with having a teenager. But this is our mission, is to create an environment where those trusting relationships can be built with caring adults, keyword caring. So not just any adult will do, we do want caring adults, and we want our kids to participate in the process of maintaining the environment for future students. So that's where, when we go back to when I graduated school in 2011 with my teaching certificate in hand, I was a pretty typical teacher. I loved kids. And I believed it was my responsibility to give them the information they needed to be successful. It was my responsibility to really teach them. And then I found William Glasser's work. One thing that he did for me as I read his book is, for the first time, it explained to me why I behaved the way that I did in high school and just after high school. For the first time, I felt like I understood why I made decisions and why I still make decisions. And it was helping me understand that I was actually doing the same thing to my students in the classroom that my teachers had done to me and what my parents had done to me. And that was not the reason I became a teacher. I became a teacher because I thought it was my job to help kids. And what his writing was helping me understand is the ways that I was actually hurting and hindering them. Now, the biggest things that Glasser really was trying to teach was to remove what he called the 7 deadly habits. So criticism, blame, complaining, nagging, threatening. And I was trying to ask myself, how can I remove these habits from my teaching? I mean, grades themselves are a form of criticism, punishment, and bribes all in one. Because you're asking a child to do this or else this is going to happen. And that's a form of a punishment. I mean, basically everything on that list it's like it was describing the school environment to me. And I just really didn't know what to do. A few years later, we discovered the Alliance for Self-Directed Education. And this really blew our minds because it was checking off all the boxes for us. That helped us see that there were groups of people that were extending this idea not just to like the Montessori ages, which generally only goes up to about grade 5, that are taking it all the way up through graduation. And we knew that one thing that we really wanted our kids to own their education from the beginning. We never wanted to feel like they were chasing a carrot. So let me share a little bit about what is next based on how we got here. What we really need is a community. We need a community of people who are ready to help build the school, not money. We don't need like labor. We need voices, really, more than anything. Here's the proposed timeline I have right now. But basically, we're going to start running meetings to put this school together and kind of fast track this. So by December of this year, we'd like to sign up at least 50 students. We hope to open with 50 to 70 students. And by March, we'd like to hire 4 to 5 teachers to serve those students. We want to secure a location. I'm already looking at some locations to get us started. And I've got some preliminary budget stuff for that. And then we would love to open our doors by 2019. Of course, there's 1,000 other tasks that go in there, but those are some of the big things that we're looking at. So what we're asking in a session like this is, we'd love you to register your family. It's no obligation. So you're not saying we want to sign up for this school. You're just saying, I believe in these ideas enough to be a part of it. And then we want your children to come to the meetings. The parents are allowed to participate in the meetings, but you don't actually get a vote. Only the kids and the staff members will be able to vote, because this is about student voice. And so we really want them to be able to run the school. And we want them to be able to feel the consequences of making those wrong decisions. Like say, well, let's start this class and let's make everybody take it. wow, that tanked. Let's not do that again. Because really self-directed education is about the art of making choices. And we want kids to learn how to make choices early before the consequences are much more dire. And then, of course, if you love what we're doing, well, even if you hate what we're doing, share our content. You know, we're on the primary content is on Facebook and Twitter. I do post some stuff on LinkedIn, so you can share all those places, interact with us, ask questions, and let's get this thing going.